Hello, everyone. So, today, uh, since the Plants vs. Zombies Chiptune Cover Album is all done, I've released the all the music for it and all the videos for it, of course. I decided that today, to celebrate all the milestones that I've hit, thanks to you guys, um, we're going to take a look behind the scenes a bit. And if that doesn't take as much time as I think it might have. Um, we're going to play some Plants vs. Zombies as well at the very end, just to, wrap things up. Um, I see we're already getting people here. Welcome in, Luis Espindola. Espindola? My Spanish is rusty, I am sorry. And Susis Mugus. Welcome in. Uh, I am going to kind of show. I don't know how much of the actual process of oh, this is what Fama Tracker is, and this is how you use Fama Tracker, but more so the specifics of this is what it looks like. These are how I made the instruments, and kind of my process going into actually making the covers come to life. So we're going to start with uh, this, which looks a little weird. But don't worry, uh, you don't need to know all the technical stuff for it to make sense. This is Fama Tracker. It is a program that allows you to mimic the technical limitations of the Nintendo Entertainment System and Famicom in terms of its audio, which allows you to make songs that sound like they are coming from an NES, or in some cases, things that could actually be played on an NES, though I don't know how I would go about doing that. Uh, and if anyone here is actually skilled with Fama Tracker, um, you might look at what I'm going to play and be like, "Oh my goodness, this is like so amateurish," and that's because it is. I'm still very new. Thank you so much, Cessus. I I am honestly kind of blown away with how quickly they grew. Since when I posted the first one, I was at like 60 subs, and now that number has increased fivefold, which is incredible. I'm definitely going to post more covers of video game music because it's clear that you guys really like it. Um, it won't all be Plants vs. Zombies music, so if you like games other than Plants vs. Zombies, um, well, I can't guarantee it'll be specifically the games you like, but it'll be games that I like. All that fun stuff. Um, so we're going to play a little bit of this. This is Watery Graves, and you're going to see kind of like how some of this works, I guess. You can see like the notes here. You can see the registers over here, which I don't fully understand all of it yet. I'm still kind of new to that part, but I didn't need it in order to compose this. So something that I want to point out right off the bat is that all of these channels for Fama Tracker are all monophonic, which means they can only play one note at a time. So, for example, you can see here, like right here, the only thing that this channel can play right here is a G note. Or right here, it can only play an E note. So you can't do a chord in one of these. If you want to do a chord, like I'm doing here, you have to have one note in one channel and another note in another channel. Or there are some other kind of commands within the channels themselves that allow you to make chords but they aren't true chords. It's just switching between the notes really fast and tricking your brain into thinking there's a chord. It kind of breaks down at times, and I'm not too fond of that system, but that is technically how it's supposed to work. I didn't use it for any of these covers because like I said, I'm not super fond of them. But hey, that's just how it works. If you want to know what all of these numbers and letters mean, the things in blue here, that's the volume for each channel. In yellow and red here, so that is the duty cycle. So it changes how the note sounds. And this is just for tremolo. It kind of fluctuates the notes a little bit. In this case, it means don't at all. Whereas here, it means a little bit, kind of fast, sort of. And then this is changing the pitch over time. This is a crescendo. You'll probably see some of these in some of the other covers if I show them. But A10, the code for that is get louder, and A01 is get quieter. IRC, that's my I think so. Especially in the older Pokemon games, absolutely, because of the technical limitations. There's only so many channels, they can only play one note at a time. All that fun stuff. Welcome in, Muffin. Hi, fellow musician here, your Chiptune Cover. Thank you so much! I'm really proud of them. I really like how they came out. Oh, I completely blanked on why I made all of these covers. So, I wanted to mention why I made all of them, and it's because at the beginning of May last month, it was the 14th birthday of Plants vs. Zombies. So I wanted to, start uploading the music at that point, and I think if you go to the first cover I did, which is of the sort of intro main theme, I think that was posted on Plants vs. Zombies' birthday. I've considered making some Plants vs. Zombies 2 covers, specifically Ancient Egypt and the Boombox Ballad. I don't know when I will do those. I imagine I'd have to do a lot of learning by ear, which I'm not super great at. I referenced a lot of sheet music to get the covers I already have, but I can totally do it. I proved to myself that I can do it by making a different song by ear. I'm willing to take on that challenge. I just don't know when yet. It probably would be. Welcome in, Faye Scarlet. Pirate Seas would be pretty amazing. So, something that I want to mention about all of about 4 specific covers, those being Grasswalk, Watery Graves, Rigor Mist, and Graze the Roof. Those are all quote-unquote OST versions, so when I play them, it does the same sort of thing that a lot of Watery Graves extended for 30 minutes sort of videos do, where it plays the non-Horde version once all the way through, then fades into the Horde version and just plays that indefinitely. So I kind of did a similar thing with that, where you'll see in this area here, the volume for the triangle, noise, and sawtooth channels are 0. If I scroll down a bit, you can see there's notes here, but if I actually play the song from this point onward, you'll see that these notes won't get played. That's because the volume is set to 0. But if I start here, you can hear the Horde theme. So what I did was that I made it so that it goes all the way through, and at the very end, this is a copy of the first frame and it turns on the volume, or rather, it fades in the volume here with the noise channel to start the drums, and then turns on all of that. And then when it, instead of looping back to the very first frame, it starts here, and it goes to the second frame instead. This 0-1 is the second frame, since 0-0 is the first. And that explains why... That kind of explains my thought process going into this. I was making the OST versions. If I wanted to make something that's like, oh, you know, I'll make the actual themes and port them into the game, I'd make 2 separate versions. Also, I'm catching up on chat. Welcome in, LVBM. How's it going? No idea how to use Family Tracker, so I went to FL. That's totally fine. I had to look up a lot of tutorials on Family Tracker, and I'm still not very good at it. I had someone in my comments on one of my videos say, like, hey, this is pretty good, but there's still some things you need to improve on. I'm like, yeah, I bet there is, but that's the plan. I want to improve over time. And eventually I want to become, I guess, a better chiptune producer. Not necessarily like, you know, oh, I want to become the best very soon, because that's completely unrealistic, but I want to improve. I want to make covers that sound better, because I'm just going to be honest, chiptune is really cool. I really like it. The animation is amazing. My girlfriend did an absolute amazing job with it. I'm very lucky to have her as a partner. She's an incredible artist and an incredible animator. There are times when I am kind of like worried that I was like taking advantage of her or something. I was like, oh my god, I'm so like I want to help more. I want to add more to this because I feel like I'm not doing enough. And she was like, no, it's fine. The zombie dancing into the house was her idea and my idea at the same time. We both came up with it independently of each other. And she was like, yeah, so I'm going to have the zombie going into the house and I'm going to use an animation for it. I'm going to use a different animation so it doesn't just look like a botched walk animation. I was like, oh, just do the one where it kind of goes back and forth from side to side. And she was like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. And if you actually hover over that video, if you have like the play in line sort of thing disabled and it's just a preview, you can see that part of the video kind of sped up a little bit, and it looks pretty funny. Welcome in, Risan. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm very sorry if I've butchered anyone's names during this stream. I am really bad at it sometimes. I really like the art. Thank you very much. My girlfriend did the majority of it. I did some of it. I can actually talk about the parts that I did, but the vast majority of it was my girlfriend's work. And like I said, she is absolutely amazing with this. I do have a Discord. I don't know how much I have a Discord account. I don't have like a Discord server. Maybe I should make one at some point. I just had bad experiences with like moderating Discord stuff in the past, so I don't know how much I want to make with a Discord server. I mentioned this just offhand, but I can talk about the parts of the art that I specifically did. My girlfriend did basically everything. She did all of the zombies except for the "We Don't Like Zombies" sign during the Zombies on Your Lawn cover, which I did the initial part of, and then she changed the palette. I did the initial version of a lot of plants like the lily pad and the blover. I did the coffee bean garlic. Cob Cannon. I'm really proud of Cob Cannon. I'm really proud of Squash too. I did Squash. There's a couple other things I did. I did the Graves. The Graves are pretty cool. I feel like I didn't do a super great job on them, but I like them. I think they fit. Uh, so due to unrelated reasons right now, Muffin, I actually have friend requests turned off on my Discord account. Um, if you can go to like one of my like a random older video of mine and like start some sort of comment chain there, I can go to it after stream and friend you, just to protect your privacy and not like put it in the live chat. Um, what else did I do? I did the roof tiles for the roof and the night roof. Getting the palette for the night roof was kind of like frustrating at times. I kept doing it and it didn't really look right a whole lot. Then you can put it in the live chat, and I can like write it down somewhere. Um, what else? Um, I did the water for the pool, and I assembled all of the backgrounds except for the fence. My girlfriend did the fence. Thank you, by the way, Muffin. Um, okay. So, the reason that I decided to do OST versions for all this, I'm all over the place. This is this is just a thing that this is just how my brain works. I'm sorry, but the reason I decided to do the OST versions instead of the in-game versions, where I had to make two separate, like one that's not Horde, one that is Horde, is so that I could show them both off in the same like track, and it kind of cuts down on editing, which was another thing my girlfriend contributed a lot of. She did all of the editing, and I am super thankful for that because I don't have an editing software currently, and I should probably get one soon. Uh, it is not good that I don't have an editing software and am making videos. um, but yeah, it makes it easier to edit. Um, and it kind of emulates the whole, as I mentioned earlier, like the 30-minute or 1 hour, 10-hour extensions of Plants vs. Zombies music that you hear. But if I were to go to something like Loon Boon, it just goes through the whole song and it loops back to the very beginning. As you can see, B00, let's go to the first frame, which is here. YouTube emojis look very goofy. I don't know why, but they do. I don't know when they made a tooth emoji. That seems kind of weird. But, like, you know, the more emojis, the more you can communicate, right? There's one thing that I want to mention. When I mentioned all of the Horde and not Horde stuff, I didn't mention Moongrains, and that's because Moongrains is like the others, where it just goes all the way through and loops back to the beginning. And that's because partway through, it actually just transitions straight into the Horde theme, the famous Moongrains Horde theme, which starts somewhere around here. Yeah, it starts down here. So you can hear this part. And instead of like the others where I'd have to make a copy of the first frame. Well, I did make a copy of the first frame. But it's not like I'm looping back to the beginning or near the beginning. And that's because, yeah, Moongrains Horde is very different. And I actually really like that Moongrains Horde is really different. I kind of figured out how the Moongrain's Horde theme probably works in the actual game by like studying how and when the music plays. So what I think the game does is that when a large number of zombies is on screen to trigger the Horde theme, it fades out the normal theme and starts the Horde theme from the beginning, which isn't the same as the quote-unquote OST version that I have. So if I make a separate version, I'd have to like change this a bit, which is totally fine. It just isn't reflected in the videos I have. But it fades into the beginning of the Horde theme and keeps going and repeats from where you think it does until then when it fades out to a specific part of the Moongrain's theme, which I think is right here. I think it's right here. Yeah, it's right here. So it fades into this part of Moongrain's when the Horde ends. Every single time. So unlike the other ones where it's just a smooth fade between the two versions at all times, Moongrain's is constantly changing where in the song it is, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, I wanted to figure out how to mod Plants vs. Zombies at one point so I could play on Night Roof, but uh, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really value Night Roof as highly to. Well, I don't think highly enough of Night Roof to risk like downloading malware. So that's the whole thing that's preventing me from doing Night Roof. I actually wanted to make a like version of uh, Zombotany that would work as a Night Roof theme, since my girlfriend and I were talking about it, but I didn't really get it done for the Plants vs. Zombies Chiptune album. If I do get it done at some point, then that will be a separate thing. So we're just hypnotized Zomboss. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I imagine it does get pretty chaotic. Zombotany is a pretty fun minigame. Yeah. I ever since I made that tutorial on Zombotany 2, I think it's overtaken Zombotany 1 for me in my opinion. I used to hate Zombotany 2, but once I figured out how to cheese it's super fun now. Has an endless survival version of it. That's what I kept seeing is the most common way to get to Night Roof is to do like survival endless on roof, which is pretty interesting, but also not really what I wanted to do. I wanted to just do like survival hard, or maybe just regular survival. Survival Night Roof hard sounds like it would be a brutal experience. And don't even get me started on endless. Once you start throwing Giga Gargantuars at me, I kind of start to panic. I don't know how I got to 20 flags in survival endless. um. Oh, so there's something that I want to mention with wherever it is. I don't know where it went. I'm going to with Brainiac Maniac. I usually do like some different duty cycle for one of the pulse channels, which are just square waves. Um, and as I mentioned earlier, that changes how the note sounds. I usually use V02 or V03, very rarely V01. I didn't use V00 at all, except for Brainiac Maniac, because I wanted it to sound more robotic. So, if I just play this channel, it it sounds a bit more robotic than if I were actually. I'm just gonna solo it again. It sounds a bit more robotic than if I were to do like this compared to this. It sounds better to me. I can't really describe it. It just works better in my opinion. That's up to you. We can discuss it on Discord later. Um, and then I kind of want to. Okay, so for each of the songs, I kind of have like a different one associated with a different. Well, I have like a song that's associated with the Triangle channel, and one that's associated with Sawtooth, and ones that are associated with Square Wave. I guess just from which ones primarily use each channel the most. Brainiac Maniac isn't one of them. But Zen Garden is. I associate Zen Garden with the Triangle channel because the Triangle channel plays a lot of the like long notes in the song. I'll actually show you what I mean. I mean, it doesn't sound super great when there's nothing else playing. I'll go here then instead. And you actually kind of see the echo effect I was doing, which is with the Sawtooth channel, which is done by kind of delaying it a bit. I probably should have used a longer delay than just like one row. That's on me. Especially since I was using a 2-row delay for the pulse channels. Zen Garden is actually the only PvZ song in a major key. It's really interesting. I don't even think Zombies on Your Lawn is major key. It might be, but I don't think it is. I think it's also minor key. I interpret it as the melody here. And like I said, you can hear the echo effect I was going for, since this is a delay. That's actually how you do echoes in FamaTracker. You have to like delay it a little bit. Like this. Or you just change the volume like I did here, but that was for a more complicated echo. So this section, it has a lot of notes in it between the two channels, but in reality, it's just 5 notes long. C, G, C, B, G. But it sounds like there's a lot more going on. And that's because there is, but effectively it's just that 5-note part. Also, I don't use DPCM at all in any of these songs. Like, okay. So, like I said, I'm still fairly new to FamaTracker, all things considered. I started making my first FamaTracker songs last year in, like, I think late July, early August. That sounds right to me. So I never knew how to use DPCM, and I didn't know until like a couple days before Zombies on Your Lawn released. So I was just never making use of it, which kind of limits my percussive options quite a bit. I wasn't using the triangle channel for percussion either, which kind of makes the drums sound a little weak at times. But now that I know how DPCM works, there will probably be covers in the future that make use of it. The next cover I'm thinking of releasing probably won't, since I made it before I realized what DPCM did, or how to use it more specifically. But in the future, I will probably use DPCM more. I need samples for it, and I'll have to find samples for it, which is totally fine. I could probably, I don't know, find some things that people have uploaded to the internet or something, or maybe I can just get regular old sound effects. but DPCM will start appearing in some things. I'll start trying to do like percussive triangle and like actually make the drums sound more bold. But for now, DPCM it's just going to be empty. It's just a gap between the these 4 channels and these 3 channels, which sucks. As far as something that uses a lot of sawtooth, oh, I Grasswalk. Grasswalk uses a lot of sawtooth. Um, there's a specific part. Yeah. So once you get to this part in Grasswalk, um, the sawtooth starts kicking in, and I love the sawtooth here. I absolutely love it. Okay, I just want to specifically listen to the sawtooth because I love it so much. I'll actually no. Let's listen to the sawtooth here. It's so good, right? Like that one part of Grasswalk, and especially what I do with the sawtooth there, just sounds so good. I love it. Learn as you go, yeah. It is a pretty intimidating program, especially if you're looking at like a fully completed song made by someone who kind of knows what she's doing. um, but there are some very good tutorials on how to use FamiTracker. There's a FamiTracker wiki too. That's like the craziest part to me. There's like a wiki, and I have one of its pages bookmarked because it has like a list of all of the effects and commands, and I reference it a lot if I need to like, oh, what do I use if I want to pitch shift a note or uh, like fade in or out a note or um, make it tremor a bit. Kind of wild how there's a FamiTracker wiki, but there are some good tutorials online, and that's primarily how I learned and how I'm going to continue to learn for a bit. Uh, there is some trial and error involved, um, but you know, as you get better and you learn more, it will become less intimidating. You'll be able to work on things, I guess, a bit quicker since you'll understand where everything is and you'll just get a feel for it. I don't really know the best way to like attain that aside from just practicing a lot, but there are resources. Yes, it's intimidating. If you want to get into using FamiTracker more, uh, there are there are resources online that help out a ton. Same with FL Studio, just learned on the way. Yeah, just like me. Um, I mean, honestly, learning on the fly, just doing things by ear, it works. I like. I'm not the greatest at learning things by ear, as I mentioned earlier, but it works. Doing things on the fly, it works sometimes. If you get your product to a point where it sounds good or looks good, and uh, you did it just by kind of messing around and trial and error, all the more power to you. And the next project will take less time since you kind of know what you're doing, assuming you wrote stuff down and remember, which is not things that I do, and I should probably be doing. Yeah, the Sawtooth, it's so good. I love it so much. I love when I do. Yeah, stupid. Listen, when the stupid things sound good, it's kind of funny, but also kind of satisfying. Um, oh, there was something that I wanted to do and I forgot. Um, oh, I want to show you. I want to show you guys something. Um, So, long before I made this chiptune album, I made a cover of Cerebral uh, just completely on my own. Just completely on its own, rather. All of these are stuff I did on my own, music wise. Um, but this version of Cerebral, uh, I didn't do any other music alongside it. It was just Cerebral. And it's going to sound very different from the version I have uploaded on my channel. It sounds uh, not good. I'm going to play it for you guys, or at least a little bit of it, and I'm going to switch to the other version of Cerebral, and you will hear the difference. So that's the old version. I don't think it's very good because I am comparing it to this version of Cerebral, which sounds like this. They sound very different. Yeah, the second one is so much better. And you know what it is? It's a testament to how much I've learned from this, because that old version of Cerebral was from last year, like August of last year. Whereas, yeah, it's really good. And then the version I did this year was at the very end of April, very beginning of May, that sort of thing. I was kind of questioning whether I would remake Cerebral because I already had it, but then after listening to the old one a few more times, I was like, no, I definitely need to remake it. I can do so much better. First one being stiffer, yeah, I can totally agree with that. I was very rigid. I wasn't allowing myself to do anything with it. Yeah, it, I also learned how to do the instruments better. So you can see all these instruments up here, and the versions between the four over here and the three over here. For some reason that I don't understand yet, they don't use the same kind of instruments. So these are basically copy pasted of each other, just for the different versions. But you can see with this, I think probably. No, you can't. But um, with like these piano and staccato notes, there are fade outs. The fade out is longer on the piano versions because it's supposed to be more of a piano, whereas the staccato version is more percussive. I typically use the staccato stuff for the noise channel, the piano stuff for the pulse and sawtooth channels. The triangle channel is weird. There's very little volume control on it. I think there is a little bit, but I don't know how to use it yet, and it doesn't use the traditional number system here. The only numbers that work with it are 0 and not 0. It can either be blasting full volume or completely silent. So there's no subtle fade out for the triangle, unfortunately, but it does kind of still have the same note length overall. This version of Cerebral is just really good. I I love the new version because the old version sucked, and this one is a just it completely blows it out of the water. It's amazing. Um, oh, I do want to mention something else, which is that I did not make these songs in order. Or more specifically, the order I made the songs in isn't the same as the order that they are in the album. If I can pull it up. So the order that I made them in is I started with Grasswalk, and I went to Rigor Mormist next. And then I think next was Loonboon. That seems right. Um, Yeah, so I think the first three I did in order were Grasswalk, Rigor Mortis, and then Loon Boon. Which is not the same as how I did it in the album. The last three in the album that I made are the same. So Grasswalk, no, not Grasswalk, Graze the Roof, Brainiac Maniac, Zombies on Your Lawn. Those three I did in order according to the album at the very end. Uh, the other songs I didn't do in order. I think the last one before I did Graze the Roof was Watery Graves, for example. Which, probably not a bad idea to do Watery Graves near the end, since it has the leitmotif from Zombies on Your Lawn. So you can kind of, like, see how that's going to play out before you get there. There is one thing I do regret about Watery Graves, if I can go back to it. Which is that on this part is playing full volume, the leitmotif for Zombies on Your Lawn. It's playing full volume, and it kind of muddies the melody for me, especially since in the original it doesn't play that loud. If I were to go back and change anything about this album, I'd make that part a little bit quieter. And it depends on how offensive it is, I suppose. Offensive humor is very tricky to get right. So, there's that. That's all I'm going to say about offensive humor. Aside from that, yeah, so I turn this volume down a bit. I'd probably go something more like C instead of F. Yeah. So that sounds like a bit less muddy, in my opinion. It kind of stays a bit more true to the original, but it happens. Which song was the hardest to make? That is a tricky question. I've referenced a lot of sheet music for all of them, as well as the original music to do as much by ear as I could, and to do anything that I missed on the sheet music. I think the hardest thing to find sheet music for that was like actually good was the intro theme, like the Crazy Dave theme. That sucked. I found one that was like only for saxophones and transposed into a different key, and it was kind of frustrating to find anything that would really work with what I was doing for a while. I think that's the closest to like the hardest. Aside from that, most of the quote-unquote harder songs were about on the same level of difficulty. The easier songs, on the other hand, those were fairly easy. I can tell you what those were. It was Zen Garden and Choose Your Seeds. Those were really easy to do, especially Choose Your Seeds because it's such a short song. The only thing that kind of challenged me on Choose Your Seeds was the fact that it's a waltz, so it's in 3/4 time instead of 4/4 time, which kind of doesn't really work as well with Family Tracker because, bass 2 and 4 works really well with bass 2 and 3 doesn't. But, I just kind of changed a few things around and it worked perfectly fine. You can do 3/4 time in Family Tracker perfectly fine. I'm going to open Choose Your Seeds and I'm going to show you. So you can see up here, instead of saying first 4, second 16, it's first 4, second 12 because it's in 3/4. So, yeah, and then rows 48. It's in 3/4 time. It's a waltz. So you can sort of, so like this is a measure that's the 3/4 part. So this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, as opposed to the 1, 2, 3, 4 sort of thing. It's a PvZ meme. That makes sense. A lot of PvZ talk, so yeah, PvZ fans. Um. Oh, actually, you know how like this whole area was like filled to the brim when I was doing the other songs? Yeah, there's only 3 frames for this, and the third frame is a short one. That is how short Choose Your Seeds is. I was when I was making the audio file to upload to YouTube. I was kind of struggling with like, okay, well, I played the other ones for 3 times and then cut out a large chunk of it in Audacity to do the fade out. So I don't know, maybe I'll just play this one 5 times or something. And it just was like, oh yeah, you're gonna get like a minute. And I was like, really? I don't think my video should be that short, right? Because like it's a music video. I don't want it to be like a minute or under a minute. But it's just a short song. I did the best I could as a compromise of like not overstaying its welcome while also like not being like blink and you'll miss it sort of thing. Gotta love 3, 4, and 6/8 songs. Yep, I agree with that. They are a pain to do percussion for. They're a pain to learn on an actual instrument. They're a pain to do in FamiTracker sometimes. But you listen to a 3, 4, or 6/8 song, and it just sounds really nice. I enjoy listening to 3, 4. I don't know if it's necessarily better than 4, 4. It's just maybe that 4, 4 is like too common. It's everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's 4, 4 time. Unless you're like playing like Salmon Run in Splatoon, and then you get crazy like, oh yeah, we're gonna do 7/16 or 15/16. It's like, what are you doing, Nintendo? Actually, I don't think it's 7/16. I think it's 15/8, which is just still weird. The time signatures of Salmon Run songs are just complete chaos. I want to make a Salmon Run song at some point. I think it's probably going to be Deluge Dirge because that's the Salmon Run song. But I want to do it at some point, if for no other reason than to just conquer the hell out of that time signature. I'm remixing the main menu theme. Good luck! The main menu theme is just a really good theme in general. I really enjoyed listening to the main menu theme once it was done. Like, not necessarily to like a like super higher degree than the others, but it was just really fun. The drop is really good. Actually, that reminds me, you guys, I really love that the chat is being so active, or rather, you guys in chat are being so active because it keeps reminding me of things. Brainiac Maniac. There are reverse symbols in Brainiac Maniac, and also the intro theme. But I love the reverse symbol. So you'll see it here. Right here. It's so good! Like, I don't think I think I cut it off too soon, but like, it's so good! I love how good the reverse symbol turned out. And also on the topic of the noise channel, I keep switching songs, but on the topic of the noise channel, yeah, if I can find it somewhere. I think it's, yeah, this part right here. This part, the 8A, that's the record scratch in Graze the Roof. Yeah, the whoosh. It kind of crescendos a bit. That's the reverse symbol. It's such a underrated instrument, I think. It's especially good for like you hit a drop and then you want to get the energy back, and the reverse cymbal just kicks in super well. Um, on Raise the Roof. Again, record scratch. It's right here. I can't believe that I was able to do the record scratch in Graze the Roof with just a noise channel. That's awesome. I don't need no DPCM channel to do a record scratch. That's ridiculous. I see. I listen to covers and it has just a generic record scratch. I can do that in a noise channel. I'm not trying to like take down other covers or anything. They're all really good. But the fact that I was able to do it in the noise channel on Family Tracker is so cool. I love it. I'm pumping myself up a lot here, but I really I just really love how I was able to get all of these covers to come together. It's I really love it, and I'm so glad that I was able to share it with all of you guys. I was already planning on uploading them all to YouTube before I uh, had my girlfriend offer her editing and art style services to me. Um, I was just gonna be like, yeah, I'll just like record it in OBS and have a still image that I made in GIMP, and then just cut out all of the parts of silence, and that'll work, right? But my girlfriend was able to do some really professional stuff with it, which is super cool. It's awesome. I I don't know if I'll ever be able to thank her enough for it. I love her so much. um, thank you so much. I what I hope is that eventually I'll be able to revisit all of these covers and do them better next time. Because, like I said, I've gotten a comment that was like, these could be improved. There are some places where it can be improved, and I agree. I want to eventually get these to a point where they sound like they're. I've heard a lot of amazings. I want to get it to like godlike tier, right? I want to make these covers the absolute best that I can make them at some point. I don't know when I'll do that. Maybe it'll be for like the 20th birthday of Plants vs. Zombies or something in 6 years. I don't know. What I do know is that I want to keep getting better at making covers, and eventually I want to get to a point where they just sound like really high tier, really professional, just like some damn good chiptune. Like, these covers are like amazing, but I want to make mine like must listens at some point, because like that's such a cool thing to like create, is like something super super amazing, right? Like, I want to get my craft to an extremely high degree. It's going to take a long time, and I don't know how much I'll like hit a wall and then just kind of have to take a step back and like figure out how to get past it. But I want to eventually get these covers to a really, really, really good place. You know, I don't know. I'm rambling. Um, I don't know how much else I have to show for these covers. Um, I yeah, I think I did most of the things I wanted to show. So if people are arriving in late, sorry for that. Welcome in, Ollie. Yes, thank you for the fire emojis. um, I think it's at this point where I've shown enough of the Family Tracker stuff. We haven't been going for an hour yet, so if you guys are okay with it, I can play some Plants vs. Zombies for a bit and maybe get this to an hour and a half. Um, Welcome in, Brost. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining. I think we're going to switch to Plants vs. Zombies and play that for a little bit, since I did kind of flirt with that idea in the pinned message. Yeah, let's get that going. Let's see if it does load. Let's go. Okay. We got this. So we're gonna play some Plants vs. Zombies now. And if you guys have more questions about the covers and whatnot, feel free to ask me, and I will answer them as best I can, while also playing Plants vs. Zombies. I'll just start off with It's Raining Seeds, because that's kind of like my default sort of, oh, it's raining seeds. Like, I think this is probably my favorite minigame. It's also just kind of the default thing I do. You guys can also kind of, I guess I could like show my strategy for It's Raining Seeds. You'd think that this is like a strategyless mode, because all the plants you get are completely random, but there is some strategy to it, at least from what I can figure out. A lot of it is like knowing where to place things. So, like, this column is for fume shrooms, torchwood, chompers, and puff shrooms. This is for magnet shrooms and planterns and stuff. This is defense, and then spikeweed, and then this is your free. Your rightmost column is left open, because you'll need that to plant things like cherry bombs and jalapenos, and especially doom shrooms. I think doom shroom is probably the most important plant to keep in mind in this mode, or at least one of them, simply because it can take away one of the tiles you have to plant on. So it's really important that if you have a doom shroom, you use it correctly. Okay, there's a zombie in this lane or this lane. It's this lane. I saw a little gap here. Oh god, it's a cone head. Oh god. Okay. And then typically what I do is I will plant in the 4 ground lanes first, and like prioritize that above the water lanes for a bit. The water lanes don't spawn anything for a while anyway, so. And since I have a garlic here, I can sort of deprioritize this lane as well, at least for a little bit, so I can plant other things in the other lanes too. I'll eventually need to plant other stuff here, probably just like another garlic, but, you know. If I get another garlic, then this lane is completely protected for like the entire game, pretty much. Unless a bungee zombie or jack-in-the-box zombie ruins it. Welcome in, that guy. I'm not sure what you mean by the skinny zombies, but, you know, every zombie has its fan. There's spam starfruit works. Starfruit is very OP, so it works a surprising amount of the time. Yeah, some of them were really difficult. Like, Zombotany 2 was pretty difficult for me for a while. Bobsled Bonanza, though, that minigame sucks. Oh my goodness. It is just awful in terms of like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a minigame. We're gonna send 1,000,000 bobsleds at you and then spam Zomboni. And it's like, why are you doing this? I have no son and I'm going to die. I don't like Bobsled Bonanza at all. I beat it somehow and I'll never have to play it again. Uh, oh yeah, the zombies in the pixel art. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, I did actually type in future. I typed in all of the cheat codes since I have them all unlocked. I 100%ed the game. Yeah, Torchwood can be used as a light source. I didn't know that for the longest time ever. And then I learned it eventually, and I was like, oh, it can. So then sometimes if I don't have a place to put it in this minigame, I'll just be like, I'll put it in the fog, see what happens. And it works. It just works. Okay, so this lane's gonna be fine for the rest of the game. I could put like a 3-peater here or something. Rest in peace, Cactus. You will be missed, probably. Rest in peace, Cactus. Oh, another important plant in this minigame, at least in my opinion, is Split Pea. You'll notice I place Split Pea way up here. It's because I usually place 3-peaters and melon pults in these 2 columns. And that's because, as you might imagine, if you have the Split Pea in front of them, it means the Split Pea can use its more extreme damage backwards to help defending against Spongy Zombies, which really like to steal the melon pults and 3-peaters. 3-peater is really cool. So for iZombie Endless, it's all about figuring out how to complete the levels with the smallest amount of sun possible. So basically, you're just never going to use Dancing Zombie, and Football Zombie is basically a very rare sort of thing. If you, like, need this damage sponge to just soak up, like, a lane that has, like, 2 repeaters and a Split Pea in it. As for Basebreaker Endless, it's all about pacing. You have to go really slowly. It takes forever. If someone made a GBA demake of Plants vs. Zombies, that would be pretty cool. My covers were based off of a more NES demake, but a GBA demake would also be really cool. Pretty cramped with a small screen, but still pretty cool. My least favorite zombie, it's gotta be the Jack-in-the-Box zombie. That or Giga Gargantuar. Those two really suck. And Jack-in-the-Box zombie especially so because of this minigame. I cannot count the number of times it has just spawned and exploded something really important that I need. It sucks. Giga Gargantuar I don't have as strong feelings for because I don't play Survival Endless all that much. It's just not really my style. It is a hard mode that gives Planter an actual good use. I think I've seen a mod like that. I think it was advertised as like, at least from the videos I've seen, advertised as like Ohio edition or something. I like that it gives Planter more of a use, because I love Planter. And it makes Planter meta, and anything that makes Planter meta is based. Oh yeah, so whenever you hit a Jack-in-the-Box zombie in Basebreaker Endless, you kinda go into panic mode a little. You have to like really spam until you get a plant. Which it's probably better to open some of the plant vases first, rather than all of them, and like leave 1 or 2, probably just 1 closed. And then if Jack-in-the-Box zombie explodes, then you can just break that open, get a plant for free, and deal with whatever is gonna ravage that lane. I mean, it is pretty funny. It's funny to open a vase and see Jack-in-the-Box zombie explode. That's funny. Maybe. It is a bit late for me. Maybe at some point, sure. Oh, and I want to mention another piece of Plants vs. Zombies info that I have. In case you guys didn't know about it, Ice Room is a must-pick on pretty much every fog level because of one very simple reason. If you plant it right before the final wave, none of the ambush zombies spawn. They all just, like, the pool freezes over and they can't spawn. It's a little funny, but also really important. Oh boy. My starfruit was not enough to defend either of those. I am sad. I'm as sad as this garlic. Because I lost one of my 5 magnet shrooms. See, this is why split pea is important. Split pea does more than a starfruit. If you get enough starfruit, then it can work, but split pea is kind of better in a lot of situations when dealing with Bungee Zombie in this mode specifically. Anyway. Rest in peace, T-Shroom. Almost. Almost rest in peace. I don't have anywhere to put this. And I got a free planter. It's the final wave, so whatever. Dude, Marigold was the backbone of that defense. If I didn't have Marigold there, I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have lost. What can I do next? I'm gonna do Begold Twist next, actually. I really like it. So I'm gonna be honest. For a long time, I didn't like Begold Twist, and I also didn't like Bejeweled Twist. I was very lucky. I didn't like either of those because it kind of messed with my brain a bit. But recently, I played Bejeweled Twist on the DS a ton, and it's made me just kind of a natural at this sort of matching. To the degree that I have a harder time with regular Bejeweled physics now. It's kind of weird. And I don't see anything here immediately. Oh yeah, I'm kind of an expert at this matching mode, and then I immediately get stuck. The game can hear me. Dude, no, actually, when I was little, I hated the PvZ one, Game Over. Oh my goodness. That was terrifying. Okay, the magnet mistake. Even to this day, I kind of like quit out right before I'd get a game over, so I just don't have to listen to it. It is kind of terrifying, in a way. Like the green, like oozing and the scream. It's goofy in the Zombies on Your Lawn cover because it's bit crushed to hell and back, but hearing it in like the regular game is less fun. Yeah. Maybe Begold Twist wasn't the best thing to play on stream where I have to, like, make commentary on the fly. But, you know. I like it. No. Yeah. The poor homeowner. I mean, if it works, right? I mean, you'd eventually make a match by just spam clicking. Sometimes if you don't see a match right away, just spam clicking is kind of a strategy. Especially on Begold Twist, where you just kind of click everywhere, and it eventually works. Oh, what do you guys think of me doing Dr. Zomboss's Revenge? I don't play it super often, but it's super fun. Actually, I'm just gonna do that. I'm not gonna do the one lane strategy because I feel like I will get completely overwhelmed immediately. I'll just do it normally. But, you know, long lost revenge. Get him, Gouge Bolt. Funny story, I mentioned earlier in the stream, welcome in by the way, I mentioned earlier on in the stream that I was considering it, and I just never got around to doing it. I might do it in the future, but it won't be attached to the cover album itself. The way I was considering it was like as a theme for Night Roof. Though that was more so an idea that my girlfriend had rather than one I had. Get a melon pole. I mentioned that earlier in stream as well. I'm considering doing some PvZ2 stuff. Again, won't be attached to the Chiptune album, but it's something that I've considered and I'll probably experiment with. Got some flower pots down. It's not that I'd be tired of making it. It does take time, but there is also the whole I primarily engage with stuff that I hyperfixate on. You don't need to delete your comment. It's fine. I can turn on the music. Music's back. We can listen to the music. It is a very awesome song. Might get more melon. Football zombie already? Okay. I need more flower pots. I guess I can get rid of some ice rooms if I need to. Everyone just fills up and I'm getting nothing. She absolutely does. PvZ soundtrack goes hard. Okay, I really need more flower pots. I need more planting space. There we go, that's all the more flower pots I'll need for now. Please don't RV me. Okay, thank you. I haven't listened to a lot of the Deltarune soundtrack. I know Toby Fox is a really good composer though, so I absolutely believe that it's an amazing song. Dude, the RNG in this level specifically can be brutal. I just try and stock up on as many jalapenos, flower pots, and ice creams as I can. Dude, it's kind of annoying, and there's no counterplay to it. It's just suddenly, oops, a big chunk of your defense is gone, and then you have to like scramble to put down a bunch of flower pots. The bungees aren't nearly as annoying. Well, I took care of that. I thought that kernel pole was gone for sure. Alright. I probably need more instants. Yeah, I definitely need more instants. Only with the one ice shrimp is not good. I had a lot of jalapenos though. So I guess if a Gargantua, a football zombie, and a Zomboni all spawn at the same time, I'm fine. Or it can just be a pole vaulter. Dude, Zomboss, like, you're kind of going soft on me here. Normally, like, you would have sent a Gargantua by now. Oh, that's close enough, I guess. I'm gonna try and get, like, a lane full of melon pulse, and then usually Zomboss drops a van on it, or steals some of the melon pulse. It sucks. There's the Gargantua. You guys can take care of this, right? Yeah, no problem. There it is. Okay. And then you said a newspaper here? You're being too generous. Ooh, a ladder zombie. I should probably ice cream him. Yeah, good call. Go. I need another flower pot. And if it seems like I'm too jalapeno happy with the football zombies, I might be. I was definitely a bit too happy with it with the Jack-in-the-Box zombie. But I don't want it blowing anything up. Especially since there was only like 3 Kernel Pulse defending it. That's not necessarily a reliable defense. Okay. I'm gonna see what you do, and if you don't van, then I will put this down somewhere. Okay. Dude, I don't know what minigame can't be beaten with 3 Kernel Pulse. I go into Bobsled Bonanza and plant 3 Kernel Pulse in every lane. Easy dub. Say you will about the Kernel Pulse, but having a ton of them does give out a lot of butter. I have not played Binding of Isaac. I know about it, but I haven't really played it. Oh yeah, 3 Kernel Pulse and Walnut Bowling. I mean, it's completely unbeatable. Zombies can't even move an inch. I guess so. My god. Zomboss really likes his vans, huh? Oh yeah, the other neighbor on the other side. There's Crazy Dave, and then there's regular Joe. He just is woken up one night and he's like, what is going on? What is UDUC doing over there? Is she having a house party or something? Like... Oh, okay. Dude, it's just this one lane. I need to use all my instants just to... Oh, this is not going well. I should have held off on that ice cream longer. Please give me an ice ball. Oh god. Thank you. Oh my goodness, clutch ice room. Oh my goodness. Oh. When it touches it, it just bounces up and down the same way. It still damages them? Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna let them take this. I'm gonna replace all of it. I need more of a space anyway. Oh, because they function as walnuts. I get it. Okay, that makes more sense now. Okay, that makes more sense to me. Do I just go for it? Let's go! So they just sit there and they're just a hitbox. Oh my goodness. How many times do they do how often do they deal damage? Is it like once per second or is it just like once per zombie? Because like on one hand it could be like if it's like once per second or faster or slower or something, they bounce back when they hit something. Oh. Okay, the reason I'm doing normal survival day is because I want to do a specific challenge. I might make a video on this eventually or something. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do survival day, but I will only ever have 2 of any given plant. I will count the upgrade plants as separate, but I can't have like 3 sunflowers. If I want to plant a 3rd sunflower, I have to turn one of them into twin sunflower first. That's what I'm going to do. I have a good comp in practice. I've done this before. This is the first time I've shown it to anyone in the process of making it. Also, Sunshroom strats. Hehe. I have survived 20 on Endless. I got the achievement and then stopped because I don't want to deal with more Giga Gargantuars. I need potato mine. Squash. I think I also did a... Actually, I used 3 cobs. Yeah, but they take up so much... They absorb so much damage. 4 cob cannons to kill 1. It's kind of ridiculous. Kind of have to spam Ice Shroom and Doom Shroom and Cherry Bomb. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Those things are so tough to kill. Like... Oh yeah, the Giga Football Zombie. That was in the demo version. And it's a football zombie with the health of a Gargantuar. I think. It's something like that. 5 instants would not surprise me. I haven't checked the PvZ wiki lately. Unsustainable because another one's gonna come, yeah. Yeah, too many Gargantuars just kinda destroys everything. I use Spike Rocks for a lot of my defense. It's a recharge thing. I don't like. There's only 2 on screen at a time, so I can like put another potato mine down. But it's a recharge thing. It means that I can get rid of 3 lanes at once like this with the potato mines and squash. It feels like cheating to a degree, but like it's just potato mine. Let's put down. I used to hate potato mine as a plant. I thought it just was completely useless, but that's because I didn't know how to use it yet. In truth, potato mine is busted. Alright, that's all the more sun producers I get. Now I'm just stalling for sun. Yeah, Snow Pea is like ridiculously good. Like it deals this each frozen pea deals the same as a regular pea, which means it effectively has the same DPS as a repeater, but for less stun. Alright, all the more potato mines on screen for now. Yeah, potato mine is pretty cute. It's just sitting there waiting to explode. Apparently it's been, like, working on its investment strategy this whole time, according to the Almanac. I just hope that it didn't get into NFTs. I'm actually going to put down kernel pulse down here. This is part of my strategy, is to put kernel pulse down here. Thankfully, I can do this. Maybe I should have put the pin in my number. Honestly, yeah, but once I get later into the game, it'll become much more apparent that this isn't sustainable. I'm gonna be sinking a lot of sun into things like melon pulse and cob cannons because, you know, upgrade plans. I should have planted these earlier. That's on me. Oh yeah, and Gatling Pea. Gatling Pea is really good. Frees up more repeaters. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's going to be very little symmetry here. Kinda comes with the territory. But in a way, I do like that it effectively it makes it so that your lawn is just kind of like this close-knit area where you just have a ton of plant diversity. It's pretty cool in that way. Okay, what do I want to get? I'm doing Imitator because of recharge reasons again. Torchwood. I have Spikeweed for now. I'll just do that for now. Okay. Welcome back. I don't know where to put those spike weeds. Oh. Actually, yes, I do. Like, here. I should have brought something to deal with the buckets. Chomper isn't all that good. He kind of gets outclassed by other plants. Okay. Needs to go away. Thank you. Chomper can be useful in some situations, but it's pretty niche. Hey, thanks for joining, Faye Scarlet. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I am very glad that you were able to catch it. Take care. Magnet Shroom is a better Chomper? I don't know about that. They kind of fill different roles. Magnet Shroom is more supportive. Plus, Chomper can weed out some things that Magnet Shroom can't. Oh wait, I have another walnut. Why didn't I put that? The reason I'm putting the walnuts here is for pole vaulters, by the way. I don't know if that's like something that's blatantly obvious, and I'm just stating it even though it's obvious, but that's the idea. Kind of funny how I had just effectively switched where the imitator pumpkin was. Also, this middle lane is just going to keep getting stronger. Like, it will be my strongest lane by far by the end of this game. There's the pole vaulters. Like I said. Spike rock means I can put down more spike weed, which is good. I'll just take squash for now, I guess. Actually, do I need... I don't think I need that for now. As long as my walnuts have degraded any. They're probably going to be fine. As you can probably guess, you're probably seeing where I'm going to put the 3 Peters already. And you'd be correct. I'd put them here and here, which means that this lane is going to be just extremely busted. As for the magnet rooms, it goes here, and the other's going to go down here. I am trying to keep some semblance of symmetry, but no more helmet. No helmet, only Snoopy, I guess. Actually, that's the thing. I was thinking of putting a different plant in these pumpkins. That's starfruit. Because we're at 1 hour 40? We're close. Nice. I might go for 2 hours. I'm gonna put starfruit in the pumpkins. They can attack the other rows, they can do up and down. Which is especially helpful for the pole vaulters. And again, for the pole vaulters, they go over, they can shoot backwards. I don't know why I put it there, this lane needs help. This lane really needs help. Oh my goodness. I need more stun. Like I said, this stun strategy is not sustainable. I ran out very quickly. Yeah, they are. It's kind of pathetic how weak they are, but it does give me some time to stall for stun, I guess. And they got the spike lead helping them. I'm planning on putting some melon pulse here, and that'll probably help out a little bit. Maybe winter melons, but I don't know if I'll need those super badly. I mean, it does give me more sun. I am kind of worried about the tall nut. And to an extent, Magnet Shroom. I mean, if you get lucky enough, it could solo a Gargantuar. It would just take an extremely long time. Also kind of interesting how there's all three different types of peas. The fire, ice, and regular. Okay, I need to put melon pulse down here. Walnut's just trying his best, man. Thank you, Melon Pulse. I don't know if I'll use the winter melons a lot. I should be getting garlic to replace this. Oh my goodness. You know, whatever deals more damage. At least with the winter melon, I can put down more melon pulse. I think I definitely made a mistake by not taking garlic, at least to prepare this. I'm kind of worried now. Okay, maybe not. This lane is just too good. This lane is hacking. I swear, they destroyed me before I got to the garlic. I mean, pole vaulters, man, and also insane DPS from the Gatling P Torchwood combo. Back garlic is the backbone of this defense, which is weird because plants don't have bones. I don't remember what wave this is. I feel like this is wave 4. Is it wave 4? It's wave 5. Okay. I mean, does it? Those don't look like bones, they just look like thorns. Okay, this lane is officially done. There is nothing getting through this. But that does kind of remind me. Why is Spike a rock or plant? It's made out of stone. It's a rock. Oh, I need to do something about this. Please, I need one more stun. Just one more stun. Thank you. I mean, it works with the torchwood, so I might as well use it. I need to put another winter melon though. I don't need to put down any more winter melons. Everything that can be chilled is. Just put it here. I'm not getting a cop cannon. I've gotten cop cannons in the past. Not this run. But you can see what I mean. The lack of symmetry means that I have just a ton of different types of plants here that are all like in this one area. Yeah, don't worry, I'm gonna do that after the stream. Mostly just because I don't want to get distracted with anything. Just neurodivergent things. All I know is I'm neurodivergent, I don't know how. I am. Why haven't I done anything with the Zen Garden? Hold on. If you're wondering about the 21 chocolates, that's an exploit in the game where if you... I can show it to you guys. After I'm done with the Zen Garden, I'll show you guys the exploit. 10 out of 10 stream. Thank you so much. I was very nervous coming into this. But I can definitely feel I've loosened up as time went on. I'll tell you this though, I'll always be nervous going into a stream. It's kind of daunting. Yeah, so there's a way to get infinite money and infinite chocolate using an exploit in the game. I'll show it after I'm done with the Zen Garden. But it's extremely simple. I don't know how it wasn't caught. I guess I just never thought of what you need to do in order to do the exploit, but it's super simple. And it's honestly how I got to getting the Tree of Wisdom as tall as I did. I mean, you can get a lot of money from the Zen Garden, but there's a faster way. Gotta Zen the garden. It is kind of cursed, because it's floating. It's not even planted. It's just hovering, ominously. Look at it. It's seen some things. It's seen Updog. Maybe. Floating beam. Okay. Now here comes the question of, can I do all of these bug sprays with the amount I have? You will see. 12, 11, 10... Yeah, I'll be able to. Mushroom garden time. You thought it was over? It's time for the mushrooms. I have all of the plants, but I don't have all of them as right-facing plants. I want them all to be right-facing plants because they look wrong facing left. There's a couple that I'm missing. I think pea shooter and melon pulp are the two big ones. Kind of weird how the mushroom garden is so small compared to the normal Zen garden. Yeah, it is. Like you have to drag it to each one. And it's pretty inefficient. But like for just a slide mode, it's fine if it's a little inefficient. I wish it was like more user friendly, but yeah. OSU simulator? Or the OSU? I've never played it. I've seen someone play it before. It looks hard. I'm not super good at rhythm games. Which is weird because I've made music. Or covers of music, rather. So you'd think I would be good at a rhythm game, but I'm not. Alright, here's the main event for the exploit. So I have it loaded up in Column like you see them. You see this chocolate here. Can you get the chocolate? And then you just beat the level. Alright, so the level's beaten, as you see. I got a chocolate. But there it is again. There's the chocolate. So that's the entire exploit. In a minigame or survival mode, it doesn't really work with puzzles, to my knowledge. You can just get infinite money and infinite chocolate by just doing that. So you can get more than 20 chocolates like that. You can get infinite money like that. So 22 chocolate. If I can max out the chocolate counter at some point, that would be cool. The only reason I have it is because I just don't want to keep doing column like you see them. It's a pretty tedious exploit. Yeah, it's faster. Especially if it's like you beat the minigame for the first time, so you get a diamond for it. That's 1,000, and you just get 1,000 very quickly each time you load up the minigame. And since it's like, you know, clicking on the trophy, it takes basically no time at all. I don't have any examples of it here, but believe me, it is very fast. I'll do one more game, and then I will end the stream for the night. Let's just do Whack-A-Zombie. It's kind of a fun mode, just to end things off. I've seen someone upload a video like that. I haven't watched it yet, but it sounds like an interesting challenge. There's nothing so satisfying about just bonking the zombies. totally could make a rhythm game out of this. You're just bonking zombies to the tune of Loon Boon. Lucky with Sun there. Very lucky with Sun. It is pretty wacky. That was a buckethead, now it's scary. Sometimes I wish Gravebuster recharged faster. Oh my god. Too good, I'm getting rid of too many graves. I just spawned two at once. Oh my god. Ah. I can't even read chat because this is too much. I have not watched the latest Spider-Man movie, no. I'm not a huge movie goer. The last movie I watched was the Mario movie, which was pretty good as a film adaptation of Mario, I guess. But yeah, I'm not super like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch every movie sort of person. It's not really my style. I'm more invested in like interactive media, so like video games is a good example. Alright. Well, that will end the stream for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. I had a lot of fun. I loved explaining all of the stuff that I put into the chiptune covers for you guys. I enjoyed playing Plants vs. Zombies here live. That was super fun. I do want to... So close to 2 hours, I know. I can talk for a little bit, just get to... I'll talk for a little bit longer, and then I'll just get to the 2 hour mark. So, I do want to mention, as just a general disclaimer, I've mentioned this in community posts as well. So because of how my interests work, I tend to fixate on a specific game or specific game series to large degrees. And so while I was making the Plants vs. Zombies covers, I was, of course, fixated on Plants vs. Zombies. And right now, I'm currently fixated on Splatoon, for example. So, This does mean that my content will shift from game to game from time to time. No, my content will not change to one game irreversibly forever. Uh, that's not how my brain works, but there will be gaps between like what content I'm uploading. So, for example, yesterday I uploaded a Splatoon clip. I'll probably upload a couple more things related to Splatoon until eventually something else catches my interest and I'll probably start focusing on that instead. If you're not interested in different games, I totally understand. Uh, Not every game is for everyone. Uh, all I ask is that at the very least, you at least give it a shot to just write out the times when I'm not uploading something you aren't interested in. If you have a passing interest in something that I'm making that isn't what you normally watch, then by all means, you can watch it. And if you don't want to really stick around with all that inconsistency, I completely understand. And that's totally fine. Um, I'll always welcome you back when I make content that you are interested in, but I can't predict how that works, and it's not really something that's in my control. So that's the general disclaimer. Um, but yeah, I won't stop making Plants vs Zombies content. It might take a while for me to get back to it since I fixate on things other than Plants vs Zombies at times. Um, I mean, like I made this image that you're seeing on screen when I was hyper fixated on Mario Kart, as you can probably tell. Um, but yeah, I'll eventually come back to it. There will be more Plants vs Zombies content in the future. This will be my transitionary period towards something like Splatoon for now. Um, but yeah, we officially hit 2 hours. Um, Muffin, I will message you over Discord after the stream. And yeah, I still don't have a proper outro because I've just been stealing another YouTuber's, who's a friend of mine. um, but anyway, I've been rambling for a bit. Uh, but I'll see you guys in the next piece of content that I make. It'll probably be a Splatoon clip. I have one that I've already put on my computer, and I'll probably upload that. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. So, with that all being said, take care and bye bye. Have a good one.